it closes it out with this with saying, through McAfee's own words, McAfee has erased any doubt that he was knowingly peddling lies about Favre. And that's a stretch. We get a juicy part. Apparently, Brad's lawyer has found that Pat McAfee is a native English speaker.
Is that breaking news?
It's breaking news here at the Double Touch Show. You hear it here first. After, of course, we have taken it from Daniel Wallach. That is our source. He says the following: when McAfee made his false statement, he was aware that stealing from the poor people is a serious crime in all states, including Mississippi. Well, that's saying the same thing twice, anyway. And that and that accusing someone of stealing from poor people is a serious accusation. As a native English speaker, I'm not sure if Pat McAfee is a native Pittsburgh speaker, Pittsburgh English. I don't know native English, but McAfee knew that stealing means knowingly and unlawfully take the property of another person for another with intent to keep it. So basically, what Brad is trying to say here, I think, is that he wasn't intending to keep it. He was just borrowing it and holding in it for the people. Is that what he's trying to say here?
So that's what I meant when with a misappropriation of funds, and that's why that's why you call it misappropriation of funds and not stealing. But stealing is something we say in our day to day language. So it's you need to make a
defense for everyone who's sick.
no. So there's a difference between the legal jargon and what we say in our day. So how we formulate things, words we use in our day to day lives, and sometimes so what Pat is or what Brett is saying is that Brett should have known what the legal definition of stealing is, or at least he's going literal definition of stealing. But I think in the context we all know, in the context that Pat talked about the news, it was clear what he was saying. It was not important that the money was meant for, let's say. So the most important part of the story is not whether or not Brad allegedly kept the money for himself or not, but the whether he took the money in the first place in the illegal manner. So what the lawyer of Brett is doing right now is he's trying to make, so he's saying what the criteria are of stealing, and he's saying willingly, that's the first one, and illegally, that's the second criteria, and of course taking the money, that's the third one. So he's saying that first, there's no proof that he took any money. That's what the lawyer's saying. Second, he's saying that there's no proof that he knew that he was taking money, even if he did know take the money. And third, there's no proof that he illegally took the money. And he's saying that Pat didn't know when. So when Pat, he's saying that Pat didn't know what had happened, or if, or not. No, let me rephrase that. Pat didn't have proof that these three criteria were met when he said that he was stealing money from the poor.
Clear, clear. Yeah, man, I think it's basically the same. He keeps referring to. He's trying. They're trying to use right now the defamation language. I think, right? Basically, to prove that this case shouldn't be thrown out. Proceed, judge, because this guy is talking reckless. And why does he say that? Brett. Oh man, why does it zoom in? It keeps zooming in like this. Anyway. Brad says the following. McAfee then doubles down on his lies in a tweet reversing this defamation action. He urges his follower not to allegedly, reportedly steal from those who need it the most.
Yeah.
And that was the case. That was the tweet we talked about last time.
Yeah.
That was a wild tweet,
That was a wild one. Yeah. Yeah.
but that's bad. And it closes it out with saying, through McAfee's own words, McAfee has erased any doubt that he was knowingly petting lies about Favre. And that's a stretch.
That's a very long stretch. Yeah.
Is
But
he first baseman?
what did you say?
No, I said is as is he a first baseman? They all will always stretch, right, to catch the ball.
To catch the ball. Yeah.
Trying to stretch the truth. Or lies. I don't know. Allegedly.
I think a lot of, I think it's, I think when you compare Brett's court documents to, or compared with Pat's court documents, then I always have the feeling that Pat can motivate his position better, while in Brett's court documents, you oftentimes see that he makes like stretches to make a point, to prove a point, and it's like that's a stretch. It's a bit too far. You're overplaying your hand.
Well, maybe we have talked about this in the previous show as well. He pushes through with interception or without. He doesn't give up.
Never.
Never give up. Walks out, broken ankle, no arm, starts throwing, slaying it all over the place. That's what Brad is, on and off the court. And of course, we talked about this in the previous show. Will this end up in a horrible crash? We still need to see.